Good morning.
Good morning, darling.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Feeling better to have a little bit of slap on.
Yeah. We were
Because-
trying to be feminists last episode and we were like, you know what? We don't need to put makeup on. We can just wear our glasses and be ourselves.
Never again.
Never
Lesson learnt.
We can't do that.
Lesson learnt. Let me tell you, if you have to, I mean, I didn't even, you edited the whole video looking at both of our faces for that long.
It made me fall in love with us more.
Did it really?
Yeah. I thought we looked better. I thought we looked better than when we first glimpsed it and I was like, that is a horror show.
But we did the pajama episode without any makeup on, but for some reason this last week.
For me, it was me seeing me in my glasses, which I thought were actually nice, but they looked hideous.
I thought mine were nice too. They're fucking foul. But
They were.
But I was on my period. You were nearly on your period. It was a bad time of the month for both of us.
Yeah.
I looked like a little crumpled little owl that had just come out of its hole covered in leaves. To be
Yeah.
like, hello, ready to record. So, what's the song? I put a little more mascara on.
Yeah, sung in the style of your man, Douglas Hodge.
My man.
Your man. Your dad's friend.
So we're off to a better start, basically.
I think so, because, oh my God, yeah, and I want to be cool about it, and I want to just be like, you know what, it doesn't matter. But it actually does illustrate the example that we said about Katie and how we were saying they could have just let her put a bit of slap on or put a bit of slap on her.
Yeah.
Because
Sometimes it helps.
sometimes you do just look crazy if you don't know
Sometimes
anyone.
you don't want to look at yourself at your lowest ebb.
Lowest ebb. So cruel to me. Me personally.
No, me
No,
at my
I'm just
lowest
being- I'm
ebb.
being
But
naughty.
also, you were still stunningly beautiful.
So were you. That's a problem. Okay, I have to share something.
What?
Before we recorded, you said, how do I look? And Daisy looked at me like this. And I cried. So you couldn't have basically gotten a better answer than that, could you?
That's just because you love me lots.
You looked really beautiful.
You look very beautiful. Anyway,
I want to prepare my matcha quickly. I've been watching a lot of LA Girls.
oh, here's one you prepared earlier.
I feel like Meghan Markle. This is blueberry syrup that I made myself.
Goodness.
Wait. Now I'm going to mix. So,
Did you get the straw out the cupboard?
yep, it's on the table. Oh.
Spinny's looking interested.
Ooh.
Is that good?
I think it might be, actually.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's so good. Have a sip.
Okay.
I've actually made it. What?
We just...
You don't like
We just don't... Oh, sorry.
I think that's delicious.
We just don't have the same taste in beverages. Okay, well, while you enjoy that, we are going to talk about episodes 7 and 8, I
Yes,
think.
we are. I keep talking into the straw instead of the microphone. I'm getting a bit confused. Sorry. Yes.
Basically, Confessions Week. I feel like they didn't call it Confessions Week loads, but it is what they usually do in Confessions Week.
Yes.
The rankings, the talking about your ex for some reason, because that's really helpful at the start of a relationship. All the horrible, nasty stuff.
Yeah, all the stuff that, you definitely need to know, all the insecurities unveiled.
Yeah.
You definitely need to talk about all of this stuff when you first get together. Yeah, it's a really good idea.
But they had a new element, which I actually thought might be a bit juicier, of showing the audition tapes,
Oh, yes.
which was interesting.
But they were obviously really heavily edited to just like have the one part that person
Yeah,
is maybe insecure
I
about.
did think. Should we talk about those briefly? Because they showed Tim's tape to Katie, and I did wonder whether they were. So it made on Tim's tape. She said he said, "I'm not Brad Pitt, so I'm not expecting Miranda Kerr or anything. I just want a nice person."
I told you, this is what I said. I said, I bet in his audition.
I'm still suspicious. I'm still
I bet in his application he said that he's not bothered about looks, and then because he's
it made
coming
me
across as a nice guy.
wonder whether like the show was doing a trick, and he had actually said other stuff like, she doesn't have to be Miranda Kerr, she just has to be you know, kind of small.
5'4".
Yeah. Young, blonde. But I don't know. I guess if we're taking them at their word, that's pretty damning on Tim.
It is. I mean, as if we needed anything else to be damning about him.
Yeah.
And poor Katie just had to sit there by herself and watch it.
I know, but I am glad that she's got a little group with her and Ashley and Jamie.
What a great group.
That's
the friendship group I want to be in.
Yeah.
They seem great.
And they hung out and Jamie was like, what did she say?
She said he's
a wussy pussy.
Love her.
Love that.
Yeah.
But that's all my Tim and Katie out the way.
Yeah. I don't think I have a single other thing.
Where do you want to go next?
Seeing as we mentioned Jamie, we could quickly talk about, I mean, there's not a lot, but I just have a couple of notes about them.
Yeah.
About Jamie and Dave.
Yeah.
You happy to talk about
Go for it.
So there was a really funny bit where Jamie was listing all of her red flags.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, likes Andrew Tate, has a red car. I was like, I love this girl. She's so funny. And she was just so good. And everything that she said, Dave just loved it.
Oh,
he was
so
just like
happy.
this. Yeah. He just thinks she's great.
I was really happy they didn't try and make her like look like a nightmare or something.
I think they tried to.
Yeah, I guess they
I think that
sort
was
of
their attempt. And like, you know, you could kind of imagine it if he responded in a different way. You can imagine the plinky plonky music saying, you know, and it being edited differently. But it didn't need to be.
They're just very well suited.
They are. They also they had sex, and I think they hadn't had sex yet, which was
not
surprising.
the whole shebang.
Not the whole shebang, right? Yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm saying they haven't had sex yet, but it's a general funny thing that straight people say, like, we haven't gone the whole way, and it's like, okay, but like for some
You've
people,
been naked together and touched each other's bits.
that's sex.
Yeah,
I'm afraid. Sorry, hate to break it to you, but that's actually sex. Yeah. And when she woke up in the morning, she said, I feel like dopamine is shooting out my ass this morning. But it's just so cute. I just love her. She's just so happy with her match.
Absolutely love her.
Yeah.
Like, he just seems very accepting of all of her
Quirks.
many quirks.
Yeah.
Erin was saying, I hope he's not too boring. This was at the very start of their wedding.
Yeah.
Which, that is the only slight worry, but I think he's got a sense of humour.
I don't think she needs someone. I like she's enough. She's doing enough,
She just wants someone safe.
and to support her.
Yeah.
which he's doing.
Yeah.
I think you need. Yeah, if you're that kind of outgoing, you need someone safe and supportive.
And boring.
That's not what I was saying, because you're not boring at all. You're more exciting than I am. You are.
According to what?
Your hedonism. You're very hedonistic, and I'm not. And I'm suddenly realizing that I'm not spontaneous.
That's true, actually. We are quite similar. Bet
Yeah.
me and Dave could go to the pub and put down a couple of, what do they call them in Australia?
Schooners?
Schooners.
Sorry, I couldn't say schooners properly because I had a bit of milk in my throat from my matcha, which you were discussing.
Those are all my Jamie and Dave points for the week.
Love. Me too.
Also,
A ghost.
if we do have ghosts in this house, they're only going to be ghosts of pigs because it used to be the pig barn.
That's a bit.
So
I think you've said that before.
Pig
And
shed.
actually, that does scare me a little bit.
why?
Little piggy ghosts being like.
No, so cute.
And maybe I'm thinking of 1984, not 1984, the other one, Animal Farm.
Animal Farm.
They're basically like the scary ones.
But it isn't. Yeah, but it's not.
I don't want pig
No,
ghosts.
pigs are so cute and lovely, and remember they're very clean because they eat all of the dirt up. And
Yes. Oh,
yeah, Irish potato famine.
I told you about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That people
would live with their pigs.
Why are you taking my facts away from me?
Sorry, I'm proving to you that I was listening.
That's really nice, actually.
I'm being a teacher's pet.
Okay.
You can tell the listeners.
She already told you.
Anyway, there's not a ghost. If there was a ghost, it'd just be a tiny little cute pig that would come and say, hey, and then go back and snuffle away. Another couple, just to get out of the way because I don't have much on them apart from a little
Yeah.
Tony and Morena.
Oh, yeah. Oh dear, yeah, it's getting a bit uh-oh. And I want to be, obviously, on Morena's side. I want to be like, don't edit her like this. But at the same time, it's quite funny how it's being edited and how Tony is like zoning out while she's talking about something else. It's quite funny, but I'm like, is that misogynistic? Probably.
I think there's definitely misogynistic editing at play and his reactions to her. But I do think she wasn't giving him enough space to speak.
Yeah.
The thing that I found a bit unfair was when they did the like zoning out music, when she was being like, this guy's a lovely guy, but he didn't talk to me or acknowledge my existence, so he's going low down on the list. And
which
it's like,
is exactly what she's saying.
Yeah, I'm sure she did get ignored by lots of the men because they're like, I don't want to fuck her.
Yeah, which is a very fair point. But I guess you could just be like, loads of these people didn't talk to me, which was a shame, and I kind of felt a bit ignored that night. Anyway, I'm going to rank them on their looks. Anyway, let's do that task.
Yeah, all of it is just making me think the dream of a very sweet union between them is not going to happen.
I don't know either. I also think, you know how like older couples, I'm like thinking about him looking at his parents, like this is a very big stereotype, but just like the man sitting in the chair while the mum does the Christmas shopping, does the cooking, does the thing, and just kind of smiles and says like, haha, yes dear.
Yeah.
I kind of think that's what he thinks a marriage is.
Interesting.
Because I'm like, he doesn't seem to be putting much effort into the conversation in these situations.
I was seeing that as him being a little bit checked out already. Like if it was the sort of girlfriend that his cousin wanted him to have, a young...
Which he's not going to fucking get,
No,
sorry.
he's not. Then he might be a bit more invested in like showing off and being like, let me show you my boat and let me tell you about this thing. I think, she's not very good at listening. Don't think he likes her very much. It's not going well.
No, it's not good.
But I don't want her to get edited too. I feel like she's getting a bit of a rough
she's getting a bit of an unfair edit. Guys, give her a bit of a break, yeah?
Give her a break.
How about that?
Who do you want to talk about next?
I mean, I've got one note on Adrian and Awhina. 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 One note on Adrian and Awhina. So he didn't do the letter.
Oh.
I'm like...
I've got a few notes on Adrian.
Oh, okay.
Let me tell you.
Go on then. My point is... he's given you enough love. He's given you enough to say...
I thought you were saying, stop complaining.
Oh, I see.
He's done enough for you. You don't need the letter.
What I'm saying is he's given you enough to say,
you need
see
to get
you
out.
later.
Get out.
That is not... He's barely given her anything.
He's giving her less than a fucking sniff.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
It meant something.
Less than a fucking sniff.
Yeah.
But I tell you what he is giving her.
What?
At least twice a day.
Mediocre sex.
Yeah. That's
mediocre, absolutely bang average sexual intercourse.
If you keep doing the sex, it confuses them. Okay?
Yeah.
You can't be like, well, I've told you I don't like you, but whoops.
My willy's inside.
Yeah. It's confusing. So, Awhina. I struggle with that. The W and the H making a F noise.
I think I just think of like Aphrodite and just kind of...
I think when I say a name, I see it spelling in my head, and then that is difficult.
Yeah,
Aphrodite, Awhina. She is seeing their like chemistry as proof of any kind of commitment, and it's not. And he is so shit. And we said when we watched their wedding, like, oh, at least he's probably too dumb to manipulate her. No.
Yeah.
He is bad, because we discover that she tells him that she cheated in the past.
Oh.
Did you forget about this?
That. Yeah.
He berates her for it and says, oh, no, there's no excuses for that. Once you're a cheat, you're always a cheat. Can't get away from that. And she's like, I'm wanting to be really honest with you and tell you about something, like people change. And he makes her feel like absolute shit. And then the producers are like, have you got anything to say? Like to him secretly, I've seen your application, and he has this little
And
smirk.
he said, I doubt it.
Yeah.
He said something like that to the producer, and I was like, I think the producer of the TV program that you applied for probably does have your application, actually.
Yeah.
Adrian.
Yeah, it's so nasty, actively mean and horrible of him to know he's withholding. He doesn't actually think this about her. Like, even thinking it genuinely would be mean, but like pretending to think it so that you can make her feel worse about herself, so that she is more dependent on you or something. I don't even know why he's doing it.
Oh my God, they've got to break up. This is ridiculous.
It's awful. And then now he's saying stuff like, I have traditional family values, one family under one roof, and insulting
It's so
the idea
weird,
of...
and I hate it when that, like, as if that is the... It's just an excuse for men to get away with things.
Yeah.
By saying that.
You have
It's like,
traditional
okay,
values, do you?
So
So
you go and cheat on people, and then your wife has to stay with the kids while you continue to do that.
yeah.
As an example.
So you have loads of sex with this woman, but decide not to communicate with her
oh
at
my
all
God.
or respect her emotions.
Oh my God, that's so true. Like, you have traditional family values, but you're fucking this girl out of wedlock. Make up your mind.
Yeah. The traditional values only apply to this fantasy idea of a wife in the future, which any of the women you're actually sleeping with aren't that person, so you don't have to respect them. You're only respecting this imaginary wife that you will one day have.
Oh my God, my future partner, like that kind of vibe. It's like, no, you're with someone now. This is crazy.
I feel really bad for Awhina.
Yeah, me too. She deserves so much better.
Yeah.
So sad that like society punishes, like she was doing traditional family values and then it didn't work. It wasn't her fault. It just didn't work out for her situation.
Yeah.
And then now she's being forever punished. I mean, I guess that is basically what just has always happened forever, isn't it? Forever and ever, amen.
Yeah.
God. Horrible.
Absolutely minging.
Completely stinking.
Talking of completely stinking. Should we talk about Jacqui and Morena?
Yeah, okay. Oh God. She keeps doing this crying thing to the camera.
God, she loves to cry in front of the camera.
But it's not even crying.
So it settles in.
And then she said, well, this was even, I think this was before they even did any of the tasks.
Yeah.
She was crying and saying, I had a list of things I wanted to do with a partner, like buy 100 candles and light up the room. I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What is this list?
I don't
What is this activity?
I don't know.
Are they real candles? Are they metaphorical candles?
I don't know. And she also she's the only one that is filming on her phone this much. Like the behind the scenes kind of like, do you want to lick the shoe? You know, that whole thing was horrible. There might be a little bit of phone camera footage from other contestants, but nothing. Oh, she's done it so much.
It's quite weird that they do that now in reality shows, because they only started doing it like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I remember them starting doing it on The Bachelor, and everyone was like, what the fuck, why are they making Colton film himself in his big house?
I don't like
and
it,
be like,
yeah.
I'm about to see the ladies, when you've got a whole camera crew there. But maybe it says something kind of interesting about what people see as more real now. It's like everyone's so used to seeing people filming themselves and talking to the camera that is it like they think that the viewers are going to find that more authentic or more fly on the wall, even though it's actually like the whole idea
faker.
because the whole idea of reality was that it was like fly on the wall and you could like Big Brother.
Yeah.
Obviously these kind of shows aren't like that. It's all super set up, but it's funny that they would think that would be more real. Like people aren't just necessarily real when they're just because they're filming themselves. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and I kind of think the opposite, because you hear of a lot of people saying when they're on reality TV shows that you forget the cameras are there after a while. Like you do just get used to them, and then you see people like Jake and their behaviour, which we'll come on to in a bit, and like he's obviously not thinking about the cameras being there, because you wouldn't say any of that shit, or he's playing up to it and that's fucked. But anyway, and like doing it on a phone, you know you're so aware because you're the one in charge of the camera, so you're gonna be you're gonna be
an
performing.
act on. Yeah,
it makes me think of that. Did you ever see that Broad City? Have you seen all of Broad City?
Pretty much.
There was like that Broad City episode in like the last season or something where they did a whole episode which was just Instagram stories.
Can't remember it.
It was quite cool, and that made that seem more real, but that's only because that's a comedy. That's not a reality TV show, but it made you feel connected to the characters in a funny, weird way.
Yeah.
Which is just weird. We've got such a weird connection to people. What's that word? Parasocial. Like parasocial connections are so weird in this day and age.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I went off on one there.
No.
So they do the photo ranking challenge.
Jacqui and Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What? Okay.
Go on.
I actually think that Ryan I thought he wanted to like impress Jacqui. So why on earth? Why anyone ever doesn't just put their partner at the top is beyond me, unless they're like a Harrison who's obviously trying to neg their partner and manipulate them. And maybe that's what he was doing. I'm just like, why does anyone, they've seen the show before. Why the hell do they do it? I mean, we've seen from Billy that you're allowed to say no, you're not going to do it. So that's what everybody should do.
Yeah.
But I just cannot believe. So I just keep thinking Ryan is stupider and stupider.
Yeah.
I can't believe he didn't put her first. What is he doing?
It was just crazy.
And he was commenting, wasn't he, and saying girls like, I don't know whether it was Ree or Karina, one of the dark-haired girls,
or the other one, Sierra,
which apparently is every single man's type,
because they're all put together in every single case.
Girls like Ree who have dark hair and blue eyes is such a rare combination. It just slays me. It slays me. It's like, say it in your head, mate.
You don't need to say that in front of your girlfriend,
in front of
your wife,
girlfriend who's obsessed with being blonde, even though she's not, but has dyed her hair blonde and it's not that sort of colouring. What are you doing?
Stop doing that. It's just crazy.
It's so stupid.
I'm almost like, I'm lost for words.
But he's so dumb, because then he didn't see that she was taking revenge, because then, of course, she takes revenge.
And says that her ex has a godlike body. And then he said she needs to mature in thinking about how I feel. Oh my God. No, I'm sorry.
They're both absolutely nutty. But
they are nutty.
They are so nutty. And if she wants to be filling a room with a million candles or whatever, then why is the only thing that she can talk to him about money?
Her CV.
And her CV.
She literally reads her CV basically out to him. And then like cries that she was like, I'm trying to open up to you. And I was like, oh my God. I think she actually thinks that she's opening up.
It's really weird.
She said she's something about like wanting to make 500 million with a partner. What the hell? That's so weird.
Oh my God.
To us anyway. And then there were some really random accusations coming out. Like she called him toxic. And then he was like, that's actually really unfair, which I was on his side for, because I'm like, that's a bit of a big word.
Yeah.
For what?
We've seen him say toxic things like, I'm a warrior and where have all the philosophers gone?
Yeah.
But she hasn't.
So she hasn't
seen that.
She just said he was toxic because he
didn't
think she was opening up about,
because he didn't want to talk about money, and he didn't want to make a financial plan with her, even though they don't even really like each other.
Oh my God. And she got in the financial book as well.
Yeah.
And then
she said he was attacking her.
She didn't say he was attacking me. She said, your communication style is really attacking me right now, which is that whole therapy speak, muddled and confused, that happens a lot at the moment. This like faux, what's that word? Like intellectual, what's that? Pseudo-intellectualism.
Yeah.
Pseudo-intellectualizing therapy speak.
Yeah.
Into saying stuff that actually doesn't fucking make any sense.
Yeah.
And then using really big words.
Yeah.
But trying to sound clever. No, none of that makes sense.
No.
Your communication style is really attacking me right now. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
And it was really funny that, oh God, I actually can't believe either of them are real. But when she was like, okay, I'm an extremely intelligent person and my favourite thing about me is my mind, and just went off on this big list. And then he was and she was like, I made this much money before this age and I joined this company and blah blah blah. And then he was like, I thought I might get to know about you and your interests. And she stands up a lot like a little angry child, like she just reminds me so much of a child. And she was like, this is me. And then she sort of realised that meant that she was nothing more than money. And she was like, sort of, this is kind of all me. She was trying to defend herself, but it was just making it so much worse.
They're both stuck, aren't they? They're both stuck in their bullied age.
Yeah, they really are.
Which is tragic.
It is
I
tragic.
keep coming back round to feeling really sorry for both of them,
you
because
can really see how bullied they must have both been, but they've taken it in and decided to like hate everything rather than be more understanding of people.
Yeah, and I guess you can see why, because it would be like, why it's that thing of like, when you're oppressed, like, why should you have to be understanding of people that are hateful?
Yeah.
But I don't know, they're grown-ups now. Is that bad?
She also cried about there being a TV in the room, in the bedroom.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure what's going on. I can't, this is the back and forth that we keep going on. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. You're on the TV. She was like,
yes,
TV is dumbing down human minds.
You're on reality TV.
You're on reality TV.
That's the dumbest of all. Look at us.
Oh my God. But also she seems to like him and fancy him. She said that, I'm so attracted to Ryan.
I can't keep up.
I don't know what's going on.
So before we move on to the shocker of the whole thing, should we talk about Billy and Sierra?
Yes. And my psychic moment.
I don't recall.
I said in the first episode or something, like, usually they match people so obviously wrongly, and they'd be like, oh, this person has a collection of birds, this person has a phobia of birds. Billy has a phobia of birds.
I couldn't believe it.
And Sierra took him to see some birds. What the hell?
That was amazing. That was really good. I can't believe you knew that.
Weird.
That was really good.
So
he said something cringe as well, like, I like human birds.
Oh, I missed that.
Said that in the wrong accent. I like human birds. Embarrassing.
Well, there was a bit of a bravado going on, because actually it was a very vulnerable couple of episodes for Billy, which we enjoyed, didn't we?
We did. He was great. He was ticking my boxes.
Yeah.
Not in that way.
Oh.
He, like you mentioned earlier, didn't do the
photo ranking.
Yep, he just said, I don't have an emotional connection with any of these people, so it doesn't feel right.
Thank God.
Just say that.
You don't have to claim sexual power over every single woman that you see. Just, no, be happy with your lot.
Yeah. And then he read a letter about his relationship with his dad.
Yeah.
Which was very touching.
It's really heartbreaking.
And
he feels rejected by his dad.
Yeah.
Did he say that he went to, it was very better man. Did he say that he went to England to see him and he didn't want to see him? He went from Australia, I think.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
That was tragic.
That
really
was
heartbreaking.
bad.
And I think he said he hadn't really shared it with anyone before.
Yeah.
She looked a bit stony-faced as he was doing it.
She
but then,
did look cold. I was like,
is she going to respond badly? But then she seemed to have responded well.
And also I think he felt supported. So maybe that's, he needs someone who stays secure in that moment rather than crumbling away.
Yeah.
And then we learned about her insecurities later.
Yeah. Which we were both like, oh my, you just can't win.
After seeing
Sierra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After seeing a whole episode of all of these men putting Sierra at the top and being like, this is the ideal look of a woman, blah, blah, blah. And then she absolutely hates herself. It's like, what's the point in any of it?
I saw...
there's no getting to a point where you're satisfied.
I saw a meme that was like someone saying like, why are we focusing on getting thinner? Our rights are literally being taken away. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah. This is why we shouldn't be wearing makeup. We should just be doing this in our pajamas and our glasses. Alas. With the patriarchy got us again.
This season is really bringing us back to like A-level feminist literature class, I feel like, the two of us.
Rude?
Huh?
Oh, I thought we were saying profound
no,
things.
we are. No, I'm not saying we're being basic. I just feel like that early passion is ignited.
You need to be reminded of where we came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I feel a raw passion.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice, darling. Yeah. Like you do for me every day.
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, so I think they both saw what each other needed in that moment. Billy saw that she needed to feel just focused on alone, which other men in the experiment look and learn. And she gave him the support that he needed in his vulnerable moment. So yes, that was nice.
I think they seem like they're doing quite well, and I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
In other news.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We've got Jack and Ashley.
We've been trying to avoid it all episode.
Yeah.
But the time has come to talk about it.
Yeah. Poor Ashley. She's great and lovely, and I respect her.
I love her.
I really, really like her. I also love that in the aftermath she's gone and told Sierra.
Yes.
But it was annoying how bad she felt, but it was good that she did that because she knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
If she just sat there and didn't say anything, I'd be pissed off. So
they do the ranking competition. The ranking activity. Jack and Ashley, who we had hopes of being the wholesome match of this season.
Squashed.
Oh, how wrong we were. He is absolutely foaming to start ranking these women. Can't wait.
Frothing.
That's the word. He has so much to say about every single one, including very racist and sexist things.
Yep.
He says
I don't like Awhina's features.
She would be ranked higher, but I don't usually go for non-Caucasian women. What the
Do you think he said Caucasian because he was trying to sound smart?
Did you think that made him not racist?
Yeah.
That word
he
was
said,
the most alarming.
He said, I usually go for Caucasian. I'm not racist, but like...
Oh my God.
I usually go for Caucasian.
Oh.
Bro.
What the fuck?
And like, you know, he said Ree had a lazy eye. And he said the thing about Sierra can stab you and you look like she could stab you in your sleep. Like, it was just every single person he had something to say, which was crazy.
He's not picking up the atmosphere in the room at all. He's just carrying on as Ashley is standing there like,
oh my God.
There's deathly cold in the room and he is just continuing.
It's crazy. And it's that same thing that we were saying about Tim. You're standing there looking like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Everyone was willing to be like, fine, you can be a nerd and have funny hair if you want. But but now you're criticising these women who have spent so much time and money and
to try and make men like you, respect them.
Oh my God.
And then you just say all of that. And then she called him out pretty quickly, which I was impressed by. I think that was really brave of her.
Yeah.
Because like it was a shock to her. She couldn't quite believe that he was saying all of those things, and she'd liked him up until now.
Yeah.
You coming up then?
Come on, Bubs.
Good boy.
Hey, sweetie.
Good boy. I'm getting a breeze from his tail. Hello, sausage.
Good boy.
You're going to stay there, are you? Good boy.
Yeah, she called him out and said, and did it in a really nice way that was like, hello.
If you're watching the YouTube, you'll see Spinach has just come up to join us. He's saying we've had enough.
He's
now.
tapping me with his nose. Like, come on, it's my walk time. Yeah, I loved the way that Ashley brought it up with Jake. It's Jake, not Jack, isn't it?
Oh, I think I might have said Jack the whole time because
I think we both said Jack, but it's Jake, isn't it? Why did we both say Jack?
I think I might have been auto-corrected to Jack. I'm so sorry.
Oh God, it's Jake. The way she calls him out is just like it doesn't allow him to. Spinny, I'm actually busy talking about reality TV. It's really important. She doesn't allow him to create to fight back, and then it all becomes about the argument between them rather than being about what he actually said.
Yes,
she very calmly says, like, I'm really shocked by the disrespectful things that you've had to say about these people for absolutely no reason. About these beautiful women, she says. She's so lovely.
She's so delightful.
And he puts her fourth, nearly wavers over whether to put her fifth, says to the camera, I could have probably put her beneath Awhina, to be honest.
He said, I don't like her features and I normally go for Caucasian women.
Yeah.
And he said, just going to chuck you in the middle about there.
Yeah.
Like talking about her like she's nothing.
Disrespectful. Says, yeah, 4's a good rating. I wouldn't usually date someone that looks like that.
Oh my God.
What do you look like, mate?
And then
open your curtains to say your lines. Fuck's sake.
And then he said to the camera, oh, she's having a go at me. I hate that shit. And I'm like, oh my God, that is just so like Andrew Tate saying, you don't want your mom to treat you don't want your woman to treat you like your mom. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's disappointing because you don't know with boy nerds which side of the coin they're coming from. Like there's a very, very progressive nerd world, and then a leaning far right nerd world. And unfortunately, I think we know which one Jake comes
now
from.
Found out.
So she feels very, very guilty for telling the girls. I love that. Well, I half love that she told them.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying because I guess it's going to feed into some insecurities that they have. Although I do feel like they'd be like, who gives a shit? But
yeah, like that whole thing with Billy, like if someone had said to me she looked like she'd stab you in your sleep, I'd be like, that's so stupid. Like I'm not offended by that, but it was funny how Billy could be like, no one talks about my woman like that. And could really get into
she's
like
gonna
the whole
fucking love that.
Exactly. So I'm happy that it's worked for their relationship.
But then it will slightly turn into that a bro off situation rather than staying with the purity of him being scolded by Ashley.
Well, fortunately, the next episode is a commitment ceremony.
John.
So we've got John to save the day. So the situation is being brought up in the right place. Whereas if it was being brought up in a dinner party, it could be a lot messier.
Yeah.
But we're going to be okay.
He's really going to be put on the spot.
Berated.
Yeah. Fucking hell. It was absolutely
shocking. Completely shocking.
Really shocking that he... Imagine what he would say not on the telly if he would say that on the telly.
I think he genuinely thought he was being funny.
Fucking hell.
But that's not an excuse.
No.
But yeah, crazy.
Cool. Well, it's all kicking off, isn't it?
Cool, blimey. It is.
Should we get this little rat boy on a walk?
Rat on the road.
Rat on the road.
So if you want even more content from us, we're releasing weekly Patreon episodes. The link will be in the show notes or the episode description. And there's a back catalogue of so many episodes that are about random TV shows and also just like little bits. We've been talking about a lot of movies that we've been watching at the moment. We've been watching like kind of all of the Oscar movies, really enjoying them, and we're talking about them over on our Patreon, so definitely go check them out. You can also now follow us on TikTok and on Instagram, both at Doing the MAFS. So go and give us some love because we're already...
There's a lot of incels coming for us on TikTok.
Yeah, unsurprisingly. I don't know what we thought really, but it's happening.
A lot of Jakes.
A load of Jakes
coming for us.
Yeah.
That we just have to imagine that it's Jake every time.
And then we're like...
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Good.
So see you there, guys.
See you there. Love you. Bye. Bye.